You're the first guest on Taylor Talks. I'm so excited to have you.
My name is Aisha. I'm Aisha Lewin, maiden name Aisha Ruiz, but I'm from Hartford, Connecticut, born and raised. I'm from the south end of Hartford. I'm currently in the north end, so I love my city, so I'm a little bit all over. Well, I have two daughters and I have my son, Sean, which is mostly the reason why I'm starting the event. He's 3 years old, about to be four. We don't want nobody labeling our kids, right? So we're like, they're too young. Let him grow out, let him see first. Something was telling me, especially when you have older kids and they don't do the same things, you know.
Especially the girls.
But they
Both of
always
us.
say, oh, boys learn
Yes.
differently. You know, boys,
Yep.
okay, he's on the spectrum. What does that really mean? What he's autistic. Okay, what does that mean though? Like it was scary, honestly, because I was scared of like what the world was gonna perceive of him, how the world was going to treat him. So then they were like, well, let's try birth to three. Because now he's two and he's not speaking. And I was like, okay, family members have done birth to threes. So I kind of heard about it. So I was like, okay. They were like, listen, we think we should do an autism evaluation. At least if we can give him the help that he needs now,
Right.
great. Like, and we can learn. So you don't want nobody to label or come after our children in a way
Very
like,
similar
so we was
situation
really
with us.
skeptical.
Yeah.
We did the evaluation with birth to three and comes to find out he scored high. And I remember just bawling, just bawling, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because I was scared.
Yeah.
I was really scared. But we were strong. We loved our son, we want the best for him. We knew nothing is wrong with him. He just learns differently. That's what we learned. He's so loving. And that was my biggest thing. I didn't want people to make him think that he was aggressive and he was, because they seem to have, oh, he has a behavioral issue. I was very defensive with certain words that were
Yeah.
used. We fought for all the services Sean needs. And, Sean's only about to be four. And Amy got him more services. Now he has his tablet. He just got his tablet
Yes. Yes.
for his speech device. And they're gonna put him in a summer school program. And
Wonderful.
so when me and Amy was talking, I was like, Amy, if I didn't bring you to this meeting, I wouldn't have not gotten anything because now his IEP, I can show you, it's like 3-4 pages.
Mhm.
But it's because I didn't know what to ask for. I didn't know what was available for me.
Bingo.
I didn't know. It kind of like hit my heart for my community, like how many more people is out there that's like sitting in the same position. And thankfully I had Amy but who don't have an Amy?
Oh my goodness.
I love my people that understands me. Like, yes, I love you guys, but I'm also know where I stand and who I am. And what's the fight for,
Yes.
like because it is different for each of us. It is.
It is
it
different.
it is,
There's
and
just
it's just what it
systemic
is.
reasons, right? Systemic reasons. Like I told you, we spoke earlier, having the advocate, having somebody at the table. You had an Amy, I had my mother, who
Right.
was a special education teacher in Hartford, the baby. He's 14 now.
Right.
I keep calling him the baby. But at the time, he was two. And so he was at Hartford Pre-K Magnet. And so that's another piece of the puzzle of, having a child that's in Windsor, that is his hometown, but he's going to a magnet school in Hartford. So now there's two districts almost battling.
Right. Right.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, well, but it had the services are paid for by your home district. So it was some pushback. So if it wasn't for my mother, if it wasn't for, the special education director at that time to really tell everybody, let's slow down here. Yes, he's only two. However,
Right.
the parent is asking for testing, and
Right.
so without people, and then around the table, I mean, now being president of the board of education at this point, but that's what got me here, is because I asked the questions, because everybody's talking to me in acronyms. I didn't go to
Right.
school for this. You didn't go to
Right.
school for this,
Right.
right? I'm doing what I do for work, but this is what you do for work. You have to slow down and stop explaining things so quickly, because we're
Right.
talking
That
about
fast
a
talk.
child. You're talking about our babies. So,
Right. Right.
just having somebody to just slow down the situation and really tune in to find out what this child needs, because again, every child needs something different. Um,
Right.
and if we're going to be in true partnership about this child, the parents have to be on board. They do.
Exactly.
They
It's a
do. The
village.
trust.
Like you say, it's the village.
Yes, it's the
And
village.
and that's the thing, right? They want the parents involved. Imagine a child that can't speak now and can't say, "Hey, I'm hungry,"
Right.
and I
Yeah.
had to learn that too with him with
Yeah.
Sean. Like,
Same.
oh, maybe that's why he's acting out because he's like, he's hungry. He wants to eat and he doesn't know how to say, "I'm hungry." We should have intervened early from birth to 5.
Hmm.
That's the most criticalest
Yeah.
time, not
Early
after
intervention.
6 years old,
Right.
not development delay,
Yeah.
and then we say after 6 years old, but what about all of that period? Why can't we do something there?
The developmental delay really bothered me. It took so long to get the actual what it was.
What?
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yes,
On paper.
like
Yes.
autism, and
They
that's what
they
I
didn't want to
just
say it before 5.
and now he's gonna be got like on paper as autism, right? So now
Good
he
for
he
you.
qualifies for different services. Thank you.
I love that for you. Can you tell us about, I love, first of all, I love your story of a mama bear, to your point, that just says, you know what, this isn't right, but I'm not going to gatekeep. I'm going to share information that you learned along the way, because I need people to know what you've got going on, how they can get involved and come out and support you and support themselves with the information you're trying to share. I'm excited about this event.
So we have it's like the community like conversations of IEP, 504, and early childhood development. So really what we're gonna be talking about there is I'm bringing my advocate. She's gonna be there, which is great because I'm still new to this, right? So
Hmm.
she can explain better and any questions that anyone has so that she can answer. We're also gonna have a Spanish interpreter there, which
Wonderful.
is great. I want parents to know to learn how to advocate for themselves, to learn that what's out there. I'm wishing more organizations can join so they can pass out their resources so that it can be right there for parents.
Mhm.
Thankfully, we're doing it at the Women's League on Main Street in Hartford, which that's actually where my son attends.
And sometimes it happens where it has to happen to us directly for us to really push. And so that's why I feel like for me anyway, I was blessed to have my son, because others have benefited from me kind of getting upset and getting, and through my advocacy for him, other children have benefited, and you're doing the very same thing, which is
Right.
so awesome.
That's good.
When is the event? When can people come and enjoy this, and how can they register?
So the event is June 13th. It's on a Saturday. It's from 10 to 12. So it's only I didn't want to make it long right now. So it's like 2 hours. We're also offering free daycare for that day. So you can bring your kids. You don't have to worry about, finding childcare kids from 1 to 5. The babies, that's kind of hard. I want parents to feel heard. I want parents to feel like they're in a safe place. I want them to be able to connect with people, like-minded people, so they don't feel like they're alone. 10 to 2, and you can register at Eventbrite. There's a flyer and the QR code is right there. I also have a Facebook event. So if you look it up on Facebook for I think it's the community conversations of IEPs, it's there, and you can also just click. But if you are going to bring kids, please register at the Eventbrite and then register your child, how many children you're going to be bringing, so that we can know, how many people we would need to help with these kids.
Yeah.
I want families that I can say, no, this is
These,
such and such.
yeah, these
This is
families, they're real. They're real.
exactly just real with real babies, with real issues, with real concerns. Because these are parents that they love their kids. They want the
Mhm.
best for their kids. And this is not easy.
No.
I'm new. My child is 3. Your child is 14. So
14.
I give it to you. Like that's
And
that's
every day is different.
Yes,
And
it's
every
different.
day is
We live
different.
in their world. This is their world.
Yeah,
We just live in it, you know?
absolutely. And I learned
So,
so much about myself through him.
mm,
Patience,
yes,
patience, pause. The
yes,
go, go, go that I'm used to doing, we have to think through before, and talk to him. Does he want to attend that? And it took some time to get there. It took some
right,
time to get there. Does he want to go to this? Making sure that he's getting the social skills too,
right,
because that's difficult. Because sometimes
yes,
they can pull back from wanting to even because it's a lot of work for them. The routine is something else. The routine is
yes,
something else, and sometimes I have to go. Well, I know we usually do it like this, but let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. It looks like this is happening. Over the weekend. Why don't we do this? Even though usually sometimes does that. He's on the Challenger baseball team in the town we live in Windsor, and so it's so awesome. It's
nice,
kids of all different
nice.
abilities, and they travel. They go to South Windsor. They go to Farmington. They go all
That's
over the place.
awesome.
And so if it's gonna rain, he's my little weatherman. He goes, I don't think they're gonna have it. I don't think they're gonna have it. And to get him to understand and to pivot, it took some time to
Right.
get because he has it on his calendar. It's very important to him. And to pivot.
Yes.
Now think about, 10 years ago when he was 4.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So
Because
I
Sean
know.
is very routine. Like to get him to like, we're not going to school. It's a Saturday today.
Right.
Sean no school today. And he's kind of like, I thought we were supposed to be out the door.
The cost of educating our children, and then you add in services, you add in social work, psychologists, occupational therapy, physical therapy, speech and language. I can go on and on and on. And what people
Mm,
don't understand is your child's it's individualized. It's the first word in the acronym. What they need is individual to them.
yes.
And what you're doing is empowering families to take ownership
Yes.
on advocating for themselves and their child. If
Right.
nothing else comes of this, what you're doing is giving people a sister circle, a family circle
Right.
of people who get it.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
huge.
Yes.
That's huge.
Because imagine like being like, it's lonely.
It is.
It's lonely.
Yep.
This is, and I have a saying, right? When it's real, it's lonely. When you're real, you're
Mm.
lonely. And when it's fake, it's when it's like a lot of people around. But when it's real,
Woo.
you're real lonely, right?
That's the
So it's
word.
like, so it's like I'm at the table alone, but I know there's more people out there alone too. But if we all join,
Yeah.
we're no longer alone, we have someone. And why not have people that know exactly how you feel? Us Puerto Rican and Black women, right? Because I consider myself as Afro Latina, right? It's like, it's like we're the way we have learned to fight
Yeah.
ain't always the best way.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right?
Yep.
Because we always been in survival mode. So
Yes.
survival mode is ugly.
Yeah.
It doesn't look pretty because we're surviving out here. Things is hard out here.
Things is hard.
So, and when a mama bear now
Right.
on survival mode is
Mhm.
feeling attacked or feeling overwhelmed or feeling like she ain't doing enough, and then she's trying with the little bit that she knows,
Absolutely.
we could do it a different way, and we
I
can
love
get it
that.
just as sharp across in a different way.
I love the
You
fact
know,
that you're
but
yeah, you're teaching parents, mothers to go mama bear in a way that they are heard because
yes.
no one's going to hear you over the
No,
rah-rah. I get it.
yes,
I
nobody's got,
get it.
and I learned that, I
Yeah.
have my
Same.
daughter, I have my oldest at 16.
Okay.
So yeah, I was a young mom, but I graduated from my high school, I'm still I'm still going to school. I'm trying to get my psychology degree,
Oh,
Um, I got
fantastic.
my business. So I have learned, but it took a while.
Yeah.
It took some healing to do it. It took some understanding of why I'm the way I was doing it that way.
Yeah.
What was going on? Not that I didn't have someone that taught me, because my mom, she was strict. She
Yeah.
she she didn't play that,
Yeah.
but
I was just about to say shout out to my dear friend Helen Taylor out of Waterbury and her son Chase. I want to say Chase is now 21 and in the fight that she has had to do, and now she has a nonprofit out of Waterbury as well. Um, because back in those days, nobody was listening.
No,
Nobody was.
no. And you hear her story, they had to get lawyers
Yeah.
involved,
Yep.
like, and it was like, whoa, like, and now, of course, he gets all the things that he needs, but
Mm-hmm.
it had to take for a fight to, all the way to court for this to happen. Why?
Absolutely
Why? What's
unnecessary.
and they're from Bloomfield and Windsor, like the same thing, like,
Yeah.
and it's like, so here we are. We already mentioned Bloomfield. We
Mhm,
mentioned Windsor. We
mhm.
mentioned Hartford. I
Waterbury,
have
Harvard,
Waterbury,
Waterbury. Yeah.
Waterbury, New Britain.
Yeah. New Britain.
Here we
Yep.
are. I have people in West Hartford. So this
Yep.
is not just in one place. This
No.
is going on with kids.
No.
I don't care what education background you have, because you know what? You can be just someone from the community that have been around and know more than someone that went to school
Absolutely.
and got all the
Lived
degrees in the world.
experiences.
Live,
Lived
yes,
experiences. What you and I have gone through as parents
yes.
oftentimes will inform us just as if we were to have gone to school for these things, because at the end of the day there's a soft side that you need when you are working in this field of education with children, people's babies. So if you don't have a good bedside manner, I need
Right.
you to go do something else, because what you're going to need to do is to be passionate about your, what you do every day, and be able to take some time for the parents or the mother or the father, the grandmother that has a few extra questions. I understand you got meetings, but
Right.
please pause,
Yes.
listen,
Listen, just
listen.
listen. Just
Yeah.
take it just and I get it because a lot of them are overwhelmed. I spoke to a woman that her son is 18 years old,
Wow.
right? And she's like, I wish I knew what the IEP was back then
Back then.
because I didn't understand my child then. And he was like a lot, in
Wow.
school. They always said,
Oh,
suspension, behavioral. And it was because he didn't know she didn't know how to advocate for him. She didn't even know what he needed.
right.
And that's not her fault.
No, we
She don't know
can't
what
guess these things.
a
Yeah.
single mother that doesn't know that she just wants to make sure that she has a roof over her head for her kids and is trying to like just get him to school, make sure she can at least get him to school. At least he graduated with a high school diploma. But you see how I gotta say at least?
At least.
Who knows what more he could have done if
Absolutely.
he would have gotten his IEP plan, or if someone was there telling her like,
Early.
hey,
Yeah.
exactly, what
Yeah.
if, what
Yeah.
if? But
No
and
more
that's
what ifs. How's that?
exactly that's
No
what
more
I'm
what
saying. No
ifs.
more what if, no more, because if something has to change. Like, come on, we live in 2026. We
Hmm.
have so many electronics, so many techs, AI, all this stuff
Hmm.
going on,
Hmm.
right? We're so advanced. This is our future.
Yeah.
These are our
Yeah.
future.
Yeah.
Like, to want them to be able to learn the system that we're living in and not in a survival mode,
Right.
because that brings in now when you talk about the 504s,
Yeah.
when it comes to stress and
Yeah.
anxiety, and
Exactly.
that's a different part of the 504 than the IEPs.
Absolutely. Social media, COVID,
Yes,
everybody, going inside and then coming back outside, all of
yes,
those things, the emotional capacity that we were expecting these kids to have when we didn't even do very well
right,
during
already,
these traumatic
already,
experiences. We really did a number, and instead of having resources in place, it's a trip to the office, and I push back on that. Restorative
yes,
practices, social emotional learning, proactive approach to behavior instead of a reactive approach to behavior, because 9 times out of 10, back to one of your points, baby's maybe crying or upset or acting out because he's hungry, and let's not even go down the rabbit hole of how many kids that aren't eating. So
exactly. Exactly.
What they
So
need
that's
at
why
school is it.
they're not happy. They're not happy.
Exactly.
And it's like I say, like, okay, so if he's not eating, what are the alternatives that we're gonna give him then? There has to be something in place to make sure that this kid is not hungry all day. Because if you put something else in place for him, like maybe some cereal, dry cereal, crackers, something that the kid might like,
My
you might
son
have
was
a good day as
Cheerios,
well. It's
Cheerios at home, no milk,
yes, no milk, right?
and dinner rolls for lunch at school.
Yep,
He wouldn't eat anything else besides the dinner rolls when he was kindergarten through first grade, kindergarten, first grade.
yeah.
Dinner rolls.
Sean likes listen, Sean likes French toast, breakfast, lunch, and dinner sometimes. If he's on the cereal,
Even
it's
just some
cereal.
French toast.
Yes, yes. And for breakfast, lunch, and I
And that's all
listen,
right.
I
That's all
made him
right.
I made him French toast the other day home, right? Because I'm trying to see how I can save some money with regular bread. I can make some French toast. Sean looked at that and was like,
It's not the same. I was just
no,
going to
but
say,
they like what they like. They like what they like, and they know, like, you can't fool me. I want to see the box. I
the
want to see you take
box.
it out the
Oh
box.
my gosh.
It's
Oh, I can't wait
so,
to meet him. That is
yes,
so funny. Yep, that's
yes.
what he eats every
And
morning.
yeah. And at first I was like, oh no, Sean needs to try other things. And it's like, mm-mm,
For me, so I'm speaking from experience, sometimes asking for help is even really difficult to do.
yes,
So, and I understand
yes.
there's a cultural reason. I understand there's
Pride,
so pride,
pride.
denial,
Yep. And denial is
because
big.
once you say it out loud to someone, now this is what it
It's true.
is.
Yep.
Exactly. So I'm just really proud of you. I feel like I know you already.
Right.
This has been such a great conversation. I can't wait for the event. I'm trying to see if my mom can come. Yolanda Green, shout
Yes,
out to
come
her.
on, come.
She keeps her special education state of Connecticut's licensure. Do you know how many people have called me? Can I speak to your mom? Is it okay? Because they're going to kick her out of the school. And I was like, she's sick. They're
Yes.
kicking her out of the school. In any event,
Yes.
so my mom talking them off the ledge,
Yep. Yep.
you're not
Get on
crazy.
focus. You're not
You're
crazy.
not crazy. But what
That's
you
the
have to
big
do is you got
one.
to keep it
Oh, that was
together.
giving goosebumps. You're
Yeah,
not
you're
crazy.
not crazy. And to keep yourself together so when you get at that table, you can advocate for your baby.
Yes.
So let me equip you
And
with
the
information.
right. And the in denial part is big,
It's
right?
huge.
Because I think that's where a lot of parents struggle, right? But it's not that they're in denial. Why are they in denial?
Yeah.
Is the big thing, right? Like they're scared,
Oh yeah.
but not
Terrified.
scared of what
Terrified.
it looks like,
Yeah.
what it looks like for their child, and what it looks like for them. Because let me tell you, I cried too about my life changing. Honestly, I gotta keep it totally real. I'm
Same.
like, no more going out whenever, like,
No.
no more. Like my
He's not
whole
gonna
life
just
is
stay with
changing.
everybody. He can't just stay with
He just can't say
anybody.
right. Or I'm not gonna be able, like, date night is
Yeah.
definitely gonna be shrinking,
Yes.
you know. So
Yeah.
as a couple, we have to stick together, and that's
Right.
hard.
Exactly.
So
And another piece of the puzzle too, and I people I was on a podcast several years ago and they asked about Chloe and I get emotional and you've talked about your girls and that's a whole we might have to have a part B to this
right.
conversation about making sure that they don't take on everything
Mm,
and they don't become parentified,
and
that
left
they
now.
left out, jealous, because
Hmm.
a lot of attention goes to the child that needs something
Yes.
extra. Um,
Yes.
and so that's a conversation that she and I have had over the years, and she's great. And she goes toe to toe about her brother,
Yep. Yep. That's Asia.
but the
And the
checking
baby.
in to make sure, are you good? Because
Right.
the family dynamics change
Right.
and what
Yeah,
we
like
all knew
my
to be
middle one.
true. Yeah.
Like my middle one, she does so much. Like that's the basketball player.
Yeah.
That's the one that she does a lot in school. She advocates a lot in her school too.
Yes.
And
Yes.
yes, she does. And it's true what you say. Like sometimes, because I have to go to her games and then I miss something because I'm dealing with Sean. And she's like,
Yep.
Mom, did you see that? So now I'm like, and I'm happy where my daughter's a baller came in because I get to be more intentional.
Yes.
That makes me intentional. Of what
So
about her?
intentional with my time, even to this day with her
Yes.
and being 19. And it's
Yes.
great now she drives to grab her brother and they can go to the movies and have their time together
Yes. That
as
helps.
well. It really
That
does help. It does help,
helps.
but it is a lifestyle change. It's a family dynamic change, but that goes to your point about the village because everybody understands the role that they play.
Mhm.
Then it doesn't fall on mom.
On just mom.
Yeah, just
Right.
mom because it's heavy.
It's
It's
heavy.
heavy.
It's heavy, especially when you have, your own ambitions, right? And things you want to do. And then you have work because we need to work.
Yeah.
And then we have our husband or boyfriends or,
Yeah.
our significant other,
Yeah.
right?
Sitting in
It's
silence is at a premium, and I don't think people do it enough, especially
no.
mamas like us. So
Right. But we need that. We need to like turn off the noise just a little bit. Like turn it off. Turn it off.
here he comes off the bus now, my
Yeah.
prince. So I am gonna let you go because I know I have taken up so much of your time, but I just want you to say your name and this is Taylor Talks with Ayana Taylor.
This is Aisha with Ayana Taylor.
Yeah,
That's what
say
it is.
yeah,
Ayana.
say this is Taylor Talks with Ayana Taylor.
Okay. Aisha Taylor Talks with Ayana Taylor.
Thank you so much for being on. I appreciate
Welcome.
you so much.
Thank you. I
Please,
appreciate you too. And
yes.
honestly, props to you for doing what you're doing.